Hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Make a Game. This is Snackrificial Chamber, episode 18, and today I'm adding a cargo list to input pipes. In order to set the types and amount of cargo that needs to get deployed, I need to add the ability to display and modify the cargo list in the level editor. I also need a way to show the player what they can expect, so they're able to solve the level with less trial and error. The first thing I had to do was add a list of cargo types to my tile class and set it in the constructor. I also added a few new types for testing purposes. Today, these new types will still deploy chickens, but I can use them to select and display multiple types so I can add all of the required cargo list functionality. In order to edit the cargo list for an input pipe, I added these values to control the cargo panel, temporarily store the cargo list, store the valid cargo options, keep a reference to the drop-down prefab to be placed, and keep a reference to the add and remove buttons to disable them when needed. Each of these is used to initialize the panel each time a new tile is selected. You can see the edit panel over on the left and the list of drop-downs along with the add and remove buttons. This cargo list is only shown when I select an input pipe for editing. When the cargo list needs to be shown, I clear out any drop-downs currently in the edit panel. Next, I set my temporary list value so the original isn't overwritten until a save is made. Then, if the drop-down values haven't already been set, I initialize those and place a drop-down for each cargo type in the list. I can click the add or remove buttons to modify the list count between 1 and 12. Doing this, or changing the value of a dropdown, will trigger a level update so a save can be made. Within gameplay, I needed a way to display the cargo list to the player, but I didn't want to show them a wall of text. Instead, I created some icons for each type of cargo. I also added each icon to my named cargo objects within my level build master, and a way to access those sprites by cargo type. Next, I set up a panel to display when the player selects an input pipe. I added a grid layout to this panel, so when cargo types need to be displayed, I iterate over the cargo list and can display the appropriate icon for each item. Finally, I created the deploy list master to show and hide this panel, as well as add and remove sprites. When the panel is shown, this clears out the existing sprites, then places new ones based on the cargo list attached to the game tile that was passed in. In the tile placement master, when a tile is selected and deploy list master exists in the scene, I want it to display the panel. To deploy the appropriate number and type of cargo, I had to add a change to my input pipe spawner script. To be a little more flexible, I changed the cargo list array to an actual list. When a level is loaded and the input pipes initialize their cargo list, I look for the game tile class and dig into the tile object to find the cargo list and set it. So here's that panel during gameplay. When I click on the input pipe, it displays the entire list of cargo for that input. I can close this panel and hit play, and it will only deploy 3 cargo objects. Although the list shows that there should have been different types, I only have chicken objects for now, and the others will come in the future. The idea is the same for levels with multiple input pipes. When a player selects one of them, the list for that input is displayed. I can close this panel and click on the other input pipe, and the list for that input will be displayed instead. Again, I can play the level, and the set number of cargo for each pipe will be deployed. That's all I've got for today's episode. I added a way to view and update the cargo list for each input pipe within the editor, and I added a way to display the upcoming cargo to the player within gameplay, so that they can solve the level without needing to start and stop it. If you liked this episode, you can subscribe to my channel on the left. If you want to see more, you can click the links on the right. And if you have a suggestion, you can leave a comment or reach out to me on Twitter. Thanks for watching!